And we are back.
Back
I
again.
hope that caught at the start of it, recording podcast number 2. We're here. It's a Thursday evening, long day of work, just been put in the bank, but we've made it. Suneet, what is good?
I just want to say first and foremost, before we kick anything off, I hope you can see and feel the energy that I'm bringing to this one today, Ryan. Your boy's got a new mic. I know you can hear the quality, the crispiness of the quality. I know there's a few people laughing at me last time, laughing at my expense, but look at me now. Things have changed. Things have changed.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I can hear a bit noise. There's no tapping on the window screen of his air traffic control mic. A lot to talk to today, and we're finally getting into something. Finally. But anyway, let's just start. How is your day, Suneet? How's your week going? You know?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad a week so far. Days are getting a bit shorter. I don't like how dark it is already at this time of night. But yeah, can't complain. Can't complain today, this week. It's been pretty chill for me. What about you?
Mine is going. It's been a tough one this week. Work is loading up.
Oh.
I get this kind of lump in my neck when I'm a bit stressed, and sleep finally disappears. So, but when you get into that Thursday, suddenly things just start to feel better. You know, the workload is still there, but I don't know. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then I was like, oh, but we've got this podcast today.
You know what I call? You know what I call Thursdays? I
Go
call
for
it Friday Eve. Friday Eve, because you're just about to hit that sweet Friday, that amazing, beautiful day that is Friday.
I'm here for it. Well, let me just get into this. Oh, you're sipping a cup of tea. I'm going for a beer. You know, it's Thirsty Thursdays for me. I know it's your Friday Eve, but we're going to enjoy sipping an Estrella today, folks. But anyway, before we get into some other topics that we've been thinking about, I just want to pull up one thing that's been on my mind. So this year is the year of Netflix and Amazon. You know, we've spent a lot of time, more than any in our life, have had the opportunity to watch TV shows. And especially now, it's getting darker, more time for TV shows. So the other week, I go to Suneet, I say, Suneet, you know, Netflix is starting to get dry. It's been dry for a minute. What you're watching? What your recommendation? And this guy comes with, let me quote this. You know, when people are coming in with this kind of heat, I have to take a second. So he goes, I've got a show for you. Within the first 10 minutes, you'll be hooked. What have I been watching, Suneet?
I believe you've been watching The Boys, Ryan.
I have. The Boys on Amazon Prime. Now, have you watched both seasons? You're telling me?
I'm done. I am up to date. I've finished it all.
So tell me, what is your perception? Right, go into it.
Okay, so me and Ryan, actually, we always speak about this, don't we? We talk about when you're bigging up a show, a film, or whatever, you've got to be careful what you say, because you don't want to overhype it. You also, the other person you're recommending to might not be of the same taste as you. So it was a very bold call for me to say, Ryan, in the first 10 minutes, you're going to fall in love with the show. But the reason why I said that is because something happens in the first 10 minutes of that first episode, and it was a madness, okay? And I was thinking, and I know you like me, and I was thinking, if he sees that, he is gonna be hooked. And then basically, actually, it's an incredible series. Can I just say it's incredible? I can't find too many faults with it. Personally, I don't know if you've seen the second season yet. How far are you into it?
I've got the last episode of season 2 tonight.
Okay, season 2 is unreal. Every single episode in season 2 is like a movie on its own. Wow. I don't know if you found that, but every single episode is like a movie on its own. And I don't know if we can give spoilers because people haven't watched it.
No spoilers yet, but okay, we're understanding what you're saying. So let me tell you where I'm coming from.
Okay.
You've given it this high praise, so initially I'm coming in a bit like, I'm gonna need to see something that's gonna make me question. You know, I don't know if you've watched Ozarks, but the ending of the last season was a game changer in terms of having to rewatch something. So anyway, I'm thinking I'm coming in with this type of perspective. I'm like, okay, I'm also have time on my hands. I'm completing isolation on Sunday. Finally, I'm free. But I was like, this is going to be a bit of a binge. You know, I've got the weekend free here, so it's going to be a bit of a back to back. So I go in. I know that the scene out, you know, it is shocking, but I'm like, okay. My main issue up front is that it's superheroes.
Let me retort. Because that's why I don't really like telling people what this show is about. I don't like telling people, when I tell people, like, try and explain what the storyline of this particular TV series is, it just doesn't sound good. It sounds like some, like you said, like a little superhero series. I mean, we've seen Avengers. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be dead, and I can't explain to anyone and make it sound good. So yeah, I would, just like you, when I heard superheroes, I was like, okay.
So I've seen superheroes and I'm like, not sure if this is me, but maybe this is kind of a Game of Thrones situation where initially I'm thinking it's dead because of the genre, but then I watch it and it, you know, it surprises me. And season 1,
yeah,
great, loved it, right?
Okay.
As a binge watch, it's a bit heavy because it's an hour episode, but the ending to every episode leaves you needing to watch the next. But it's one of those shows where you can pause halfway through. In my opinion, you can pause halfway through and you stop there and then you can go and pick it up the next day, because the end you have to watch. You have to watch the start of the next one. So then we move into season 2. And being honest with you, the start of season 2 was disappointing, because I was disappointed with the end of season 1. But where I am now, coming into the last episode, so I'll give you the update next week, is that it's reaching some greatness, and I'm excited for tonight. I'm excited to sit down, tuck in, get ready, and comfortable to enjoy a good finale.
Yeah, we may need to, just when you've seen it all, we may need to hit people with some spoilers just so we can discuss in detail what actually goes on, because there is some crazy scenes throughout. And I actually agree with you. I do agree with you. Like the first season, the end, towards the end, I wasn't like that excited about the end of the season 1. I liked the storyline. I liked where it was going. You're right there. The ending wasn't amazing of season 1, right? But I just felt like season 2, it just picks up. It just picks up beautifully, and
it's redeeming itself now. It's redeeming itself now. So, you know, go watch.
I'll take that.
Go give your reviews. And it's the thing that we've said it many times. If you're going to come in with such a high review, sometimes it almost spoils the show because you're setting it at that pedestal. Quick examples, 1917. Get into 2 TV shows today. I just wanted to mention that one up front.
Yeah. I'll take that though, because like you said, I came a bit hot, and I even clocked myself coming in too hot as I was explaining it to you, and I thought, oh, I need to try and I didn't know how. At that point, it was too late. I was like, how do I calm this down? I've just come in and said within the 10 minutes he's going to be hooked. I didn't know how to retract from that, so I already kind of ruined it. And I was hoping, just praying that it's still enough. So the fact that you're saying, you know, you're still with it, I'll take that for now, because I gave it a lot of praise.
Well, it's a good job that I got to where I am in the season, because if this was 2 days ago,
different conversation.
It's a different conversation.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move on a little bit here. You know, we've not been talking that much throughout the week, but we've given a few notes of where we think we're taking this conversation today. And it looks like it's going to be surrounding money, you know, a bit of millennial money, and a bit of our purpose in our work lives. Now that sounds quite deep when I say that. It's like, whoa, first podcast we're already talking about purpose of life. We're talking life here. It's my favorite subject.
The title, it is the name of the podcast. And actually, I think it's not random as well. Because this week, I did have a thought, like over the weekend when I was just as like I was going to bed one night, I think it was a Sunday night, and I just had a thought about purpose. So it's not like a random, we've just come up, like this is actually something that has been on my mind for the past few days.
So how often are you going to bed thinking about purpose?
Listen, I'll be honest, not a lot. I'm not always thinking, but recently I have been. Because of this lockdown 2.0, it's got me thinking. It has actually got me thinking, like, what is going on? Okay, let me start actually, because the reason why I wanted to talk about purpose was because what had happened was, obviously, I think it was Sunday night, and basically, I'm the kind of guy, and I've said this for a while, and I've said this to my family, mainly my mother, because she's always on my case, and I always say to her, Mum, I am perfectly happy, right? Perfectly happy, yeah, for the rest of my life, doing nothing. And what I mean by that, I don't mean like, I mean, because she's always thinking, no, like, she tries to pretend like she loves her job, okay? I call her out a lot, and she tries to pretend like she loves it. And I always say, yeah, but the question is, though, like, the only way you can truly tell if you love your job is if someone took the money away from you that you get from it and you'd still do it. That is the real question. I always used to think, the old
Nice
me.
to hear the sirens, and in effect, Manchester's lighting up tonight.
Anyway, man.
Anyway, carry on.
We're serious about it out here. But I always used to think, like, I'm happy, chilling, comfortable on my ones, in my room, watching a bit of Netflix, watching a bit of TV, and doing stuff with friends, just like not really having something that I have to do. I don't need to have something to do. Like, I'll make stuff to do that I want to do, but I don't need to have something to do every single day. That is not. In my old me used to always say, I don't need that. I don't need to be confounded by, I've got to do this. I've got to wake up at this time. I'm slowly starting to realize, I think I might actually do. I think I actually might have to, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have something to do every day for work. And as mad as that sounds, I genuinely think I would go crazy if I didn't have something to do. And lockdown has taught me this, because I don't know if it's just because of society, and society has kind of pushed us in that direction where we have to be doing something. So you either have to go to school or you have to work, one or the two. So therefore now, as I've gotten older and as I've gone through the process, I'm just in line, I'm conforming, right? So I feel like I have to do it. I don't know if it's that, or if it's a case of actually me as a person, I need some sort of purpose. I need to get up and have something. Okay, I've got to do this. Like, this is what I'm doing during the day. Even little things like the fact that nowadays I'm rolling out of my bed to my desk, right? Even that's it's a bit depressing for me. I actually I miss the office. I miss going out and actually having a purpose. Okay, I'm gonna wake up at 8:30, have a shower. The office is literally down the road. It's not even like it's far from me, but I can walk to the office. I can go in, sit down, and I start work. Even that, I'm missing it, and I never ever thought me, of all people, would be a person to say I miss going in to work. I miss walking in to the office and actually going and having a purpose.
So this is a lockdown takeaway for you, because do you think you would have not come to that realization if not because you're in an accountancy program right now, which is 3 years, right? So you stepped out of university and you've got this job. I mean, you had a bit of an in-between period, but you've got this kind of path in which you're doing. So you've been busy, and you kind of, where your goal is, and you're working toward that. But within that time, because you've been so busy, you've not been thinking about everything else. Your purpose has been that accountancy degree. So now that there's lockdown and you're kind of stripping down everything else that comes with that accountancy work, all that's left is the work, and everything that else is surrounding it has gone away. So now you're starting to think,
that's exactly what it is. I feel like it's just because there's so much than just the work, isn't it? There's so much when you've got a job, when you are so busy and you're keeping yourself so busy, and you've got so much stuff to do. There's so much than just the work. There's the commute. There's the after work stuff that you do. You put in extra hours. Obviously, I'm doing within my personal degree. Well, not degree, it's a qualification, but basically, it's like you work and you do exams to sort of kind of in conjunction sort of thing. So even that, just the idea of having to work and then also as soon as you clock off going into exam mode, revising, that sort of stuff, there's a lot that comes with it. And it's just like now, and especially because within the first lockdown, I was in quite a sort of serious exam process. Now I'm in a more chilled, I would say for my work, chilled schedule. So even now it's even less stuff I'm doing. I'm just thinking, oh wow, like what's going on?
Yeah, I've been going through the same thing in that when lockdown first started. So firstly, I mean, we're both lucky in that our businesses don't change. Like the way we work, we continue to work regardless. Like there hasn't been a stop, there hasn't been a furlough. We just continue to work. But at first you're like, okay, lockdown. Wow, okay, I'm working from home all the time. That's different, that's new, it's kind of exciting. So I don't have to wake up and do an hour commute in London every morning, I have that more free time. So I was thinking, oh, that's great. And I was still, I knew all my team members, and so I'm still chatting to them every day. But as that time has gone further and further and further away, now we're 7 months in, I've moved to a different team recently. So now there's people I'm working with every day, but I've never met them in person. And because we have so many Zoom calls, that conversation of just like going up to get a cup of tea or, listening to music in the background and having a conversation about it is disappearing. So it's almost getting more lonely and lonely and lonely and lonely, especially when you're in a lockdown and then after work you can't even go out and see your friends or, make the most of life that can come from working from home. I mean, working in America gave me the perspective of, wow, I can work anywhere in the world. I can do this job. I was in Croatia, worked 2 weeks, completely the same. America, 3 months, completely the same. Yes, I had to do different hours, but I was like, it's the same job. It literally does not matter where I am in the world. So there's more possibilities. That's cool. But when you kind of tie it into what's your social life around that, then it's like, oh man, I actually kind of I need those work people or those work relationships a bit more than I thought. You know what I'm saying?
No, I 100% agree. Like I didn't really, in fact, I always knew that one thing I love about my job is the fact that I meet so many new people. Because I mean, I mentioned the fact that the office, a lot of my job is actually spent on client sites within client offices. So I'm often meeting new people, and I'm often on a train to somewhere different, which a lot of people don't really enjoy traveling. But I actually miss that as well. This is gonna sound mad. This is actually what I'm about to say is gonna sound crazy, but I actually miss commuting. I miss getting on a train and going to a different place. And I don't know if that's just lockdown making me go
I don't think that would be mad for most people because like once you've been getting in a cycle of your laptop is now your work, and that's the same space that you sleep in or the same space that you do anything, and it's like, God, I need some separation.
Yeah.
That's why people like working separate. Like I lived in Southwest London, worked in North London. I love the fact that when I was on a weekend or when I'm home, I'm nowhere near work. Do you know what I mean? I was so at work as well. So it was like I've left work behind today. Whereas this is like I'm always on. If you need me, I'm here. Jesus, I hate that, but I'm here. Do you know what I mean? But going back to purpose, I think I'm a bit different in that I think about purpose too much to the point where it like hinders me sometimes because I'm always evaluating like, what am I doing? Is this what I should be doing? I need to be doing something more. I need to be, you know, should I be doing this? Oh, if I was doing this, it'd be better. Sorry. No COVID cough there. But it's like sometimes it can get hindering because it's just playing on my mind. And especially the time where your options seem more limited because of a time like lockdown. You're like, well, I can't change this now because the environment is not the economy is not prospering, or it doesn't seem like there's more opportunities on my horizon. But I think that's more of just a mindset, because there are different ways you can look at it and get something else. But the way I was kind of talking about and thinking of money this week is my usual morning routine, right? You know, I'm an early riser.
Yeah.
I like to get up, have a bit of coffee, and then I'm kind of, you know, I'm not going out running or anything all the time, but I like to enjoy a bit of YouTube. Enjoy a bit of YouTube or a bit of Modern Family, just to lighten the day. You know, coming to the week good. And I've been watching this series on YouTube called it's by the new American channel CNBC, and they've got a show called Millennial Money. So it's just short episodes in which it takes a look at people, millennials, how much money they make, where they live. So it's usually like an American city, on what they spend their money on. And so that got me start to think, because I've usually been watching the episodes every week, every day, and I've just been thinking, okay, that's interesting. And they're looking at money philosophy. And then I'm thinking, okay, so here's a guy who, I mean, he's doing an accountancy degree. He must be interested in money. So what's your money philosophy? How are you kind of approaching things these days, as you're now starting to put some money in that pocket of yours?
Well, the thing about me with money, right, is I used to have a long-term goal, and my long-term goal was very simple. Okay, I just want to get to a stage in life where I'm living comfortably. That was my initial long-term goal. And at that point in time, comfortably to me was basically my parents, which what they used to do every year when we were young, through primary school and secondary school, they used to take us every year in the summer holidays on holiday, right? We'd go away for either a week or 2 weeks, okay? And it wasn't until I got to this stage in life, right, where now I'm paying bills, electricity, heating at this time of year goes up, and I'm paying rent.
Are you keeping the heat on in the day?
Nah, I'm not keeping it on the day. Listen, you got to save on bills somehow.
That's just putting money out the window.
Yeah, we don't do that. But I'm starting to realize, wow, that's an expensive couple of weeks for them. Because for anyone who doesn't know, I've got 2 other siblings. That's a family of 5. Okay, that is flights, accommodation, and meals. First of all, the fact I'm even saying this is crazy. This shows how old I'm getting. I'm actually calculating how much money they're spending on holiday. But I'm thinking, if I go on holiday now, right? Let's say me and you were like, okay, let's go somewhere. Let's do something. A little weekend away, right? I'm gonna have to think about that in terms of money. I'm thinking, okay, hold on, okay, maybe like a month's worth of saving, couple months worth of saving, you know, decent amount of.
And we're going somewhere nice.
Yeah.
Is this Miami this time? Finally.
I don't know. Yeah, we might have to do that. But think about that's a good couple of months, and that's just me. All I'm thinking about is myself. I'm not thinking about my family. I'm just thinking about me, taking me somewhere else, overseas, flights, accommodations, overseas spending, all that. That's a lot of money. Times that by 5, right? That's even more money. I used to think that's the average. That's an average life. Like, okay, if I can get to a position where me and the rest of my family are all able to go on holiday every single year during the 6 weeks holiday, where I don't know how long it is these days, but during that period with my family, if I can take them there without no worries, no stress, I don't have to think about it, then I'm good with that. I'm good. It's only recently, now that I've gotten older, that I've realized that's not average. That is not average. That is.
So how are you adjusting your goals then? If you're saying at first it was only just this one long-term kind of thing, what is your perspective now?
My perspective now is you can't just expect. You can't just. For me, it's okay, because I had an average in second mind, which I thought was average then. It was okay. I'll go through life the average way. I'll get a decent job that hopefully has some progression in it, and as long as I'm in a sort of, I've got a lane and I've got a chosen career, and there is progression in that, I'm good. I'm okay. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy with that. But the way I'm thinking nowadays is, and this is mainly through not just my own thought process changing, but just through speaking to other people like you, my family as well, seeing what my brother and sister are doing, and what the rest of my family are doing as well, and other friends. And nobody really at the moment that I'm speaking to is just doing one thing. Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody, and if they're not doing one thing, they don't want to be just doing one thing. Everyone is thinking about other things at this point in time. It's like, okay, wow. This average lifestyle that I was thinking, if I really want to achieve the goals I want to achieve, which aren't, and I'm realizing they aren't average. That isn't average. If I want to be comfortable, if I don't want to have to think about anything, I can't be thinking in that average mindset anymore. I've got to be doing other things too.
Of course, I got to elevate. You know what I'm saying? Gotta take it up.
Yeah, and it's taken me a while to actually think that. Oh no, that's okay. I mean, you can do that's fine.
On a practical level, you're thinking these things. Are you implementing that in the way that you like treat your income that you're getting in now? Have you got like student loan debts? Have you got things that you're like, okay, I need to manage it this way, and I need to have like a savings kind of philosophy, or I'm thinking about investments or anything like that?
Well, right now I'm in save mode, and I'm in save mode. I'm regenerating because since I've moved to Manchester, obviously I've got a lot of bills. I've got a lot. My disposable income is getting less and less because of my rent, because of the other bills, because of always eating stuff like that. So there's a lot of extra bills coming in. So for me, initially, I had to manage that, and it was difficult to save at that point. And I went through a period where I wasn't saving for a little while, and I was thinking, oh wow. I mean, ever since I've been earning, I've been saving. That's the kind of guy I am. Just not just for a rainy day, for the future to invest. And basically, recently, actually, I found a new app called Chip Financial.
Okay, plug.
Chip Financial. Basically, what Chip Financial does, right, for anyone who's interested, is it calculates. So it's linked to your bank. It's a credible app, so nothing dodgy about it. It's credible.
Suneet registered.
No, I think it was on. It was a BBC program that I think it was on where it was recommended, but yeah, it's credible app. It's linked to your bank account, and what it does is it works out through some algorithm. It works out, your general income that you're making each month, your general outgoings, and it kind of works out a reasonable amount to take out of your account, and it puts it into a different account, the Chip bank account.
Like automatically.
Every week, once a week, it'll do it. So each week it will take out a select amount, and it will do that based on obviously how much you're earning and how much of your outgoing. So it's not taking obviously too much. You can also set limits, stuff like that. So you can set like if it gets to a certain point, you can say if my bank account ever falls below £150, I don't want you to take anything out. You can set limits, but yeah, it does that every Thursday, and I don't even need to do anything. Just give me a little notification. Chip day. A little chip day. So yeah, I've set that up, and it's going quite nicely in there at the moment. So like I said, I've had to, because of the move to Manchester, I've had to sort of regenerate, think about saving a lot more because of the outgoings.
But but you're thinking about it, and it's you're starting to change your mindset from what you grew up with, and I think that's big with anybody our age. We grew up with all different backgrounds, but the way I kind of see my one, and I know I've told you to read this book, but have you read Rich Dad Poor Dad?
No, we spoke about it.
Yeah, we have. So I like to kind of refer it back to that in terms of my upbringing as well, because I think I grow up and you're like, okay, what am I going to do with my life? The question that we're still trying to answer, what am I going to do? Okay, let's stay in school. Let's get a good job. And this is what we're being told by our families, especially my dad's Nigerian. So he's come from Nigeria to England in order to get a better life.
Yeah.
When he's seeing success, he's like, I want to give my son the best he can. And that is through giving him a good education. So almost in your brain, you're thinking, okay, I need to make sure that I do this for him as well, But at the same time, you have this notion where it's kind of can be a pressure in which you're thinking, I need to follow these certain rules and then get a job at a corporate company, and then you elevate the ladder, and that's how you make money. And that's probably how I grew up thinking about money. It's only when I started like reading a bit more toward the end of university, finally picking up a book, and I was like, oh, okay, there are other ways here. And I'm still trying to understand what those best kind of practices are. But some of the things that I've read and the things I implement is I try and do like a 10 to 20% savings each month. I like the notion of kind of not short-term goals, but goals in which you can kind of quickly explain for money and that make it simple for you. So, for example, if you were to quit your job today, how long could you survive on your money? Do I have enough in my bank account to survive 6 months today if I did nothing? Because that's then giving me a cushion if I would like to maybe think and reorganize and do other things. So that's kind of one of my goals. And then once I've got that cushion, extra money, where is that designated to? Okay, am I classifying that as surplus? Is that now then going to go into me getting a house, or is that now investment money? Can I feel a bit more relaxed about that? Because I still have that notion of, oh, I've just worked, I'm doing those calculations like you're calculating those holidays. I'm calculating, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to put this now into an investment and I lose it, because that's our natural thing to fear. If I lose it, I've just worked this many hours, this many weeks for this person telling me bullshit for nothing, and that's a mindset I'm trying to, you have to take some risk, but it has to be an educated risk. Where can I learn from? Who are the people around me that are doing those things, and where can I put my money? But it's so much of that is coming back to changing of mindsets and being in a place where you feel comfortable to do that, or not comfortable, but feel like you have the empowerment to do so.
Yeah, I don't know the thing that, because what we're saying here is, we're not saying, when you're talking about these risky decisions, I don't think it's a risky decision. Like if you're doing something with something else, if you're putting all your eggs in one basket and saying, okay, I don't want to work, right? I don't want to work at all. I want to start investing. I'm throwing money here, there, and everywhere. Go on the stock market, whatever. But obviously, that is risky. That like you said, you're taking a massive gamble there. But when we talk about educated risk, we're just talking about not even taking a risk. It's about doing things in conjunction. I think there's nothing wrong. I mean, I've got a nice job. I've got a corporate job, and I enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with having that. And if that's what you want to do on its own, then fine, cool. There's nothing wrong with having one lane. But I've just, like we said, in terms of changing mindset, I just feel like one lane of doing it on its own is just so limiting.
Yeah,
it's just so limiting, and mindset wise, and it just, for me, it's just conforming for the sake of.
So you're saying a diversified portfolio of life.
100%. I mean, shareholders always say, you've got to diversify. The same thing for life. You've got to have a diverse portfolio, and like I said, you're hedging your risks. You're putting your risks in various different places, and therefore, obviously, they're going to become less risky. So it's not really, in the end, how risky is the investment?
Yeah, and
that's what you've got to start saying yourself. How risky is the investment if I've got X, Y, and Z going on?
No, that's a good point, because when I think about going back to like our purpose and what we're doing, I've always imagined myself doing multiple things. So for me, sometimes when I'm just doing work, and I don't feel like I'm doing anything outside of work, suddenly that purpose drops off, because I'm like, man, I'm not doing more. I need to be not just defined by this work, but defined by this as well, or not defined by this, but I'm doing that. And I think that can be achieved through so many different things. Like this podcast is doing that for me. Like, oh, okay, I've got this podcast going on. These are fun conversations. That's something else that I'm doing for work. Or if I'm into a sport, training for this. Yes. Oh, who are you? Oh, I'm training for a marathon, and that's taken up a majority of the time. It's not, I guess it's not always about money. Well, we're talking about money in this sense, but there's so much more that can just give you that sense of purpose, but also tie it back to money. There's so much more that can bring you revenue streams that are different. It's just it's just training yourself to understand and putting yourself out there to have the opportunity and give it a go.
Yeah, and it's not just like, for example, us two, right? Necessarily mean you have to be doing two things at once right now. That's not that. I don't think that is really what we're talking about. I think what we're talking about is just being open. Just being open, simple. Starting as a point as that, just being open to the possibility of other things, doing other things, not just going through your normal 9 to 5 for the rest of your life and thinking that's okay. Having some sort of plan of, oh, hang on a minute, if I save X amount, this amount of money, maybe then I might be able to invest in a house. Maybe I might be able to invest some. If I read a few books 2-3 times a day on the stock share market, maybe I can go into that sort of later. That thing. You know what I mean? It's funny, and it's interesting as well. Just going back to the purpose point about, again, just slightly shifting from money there. I agree with that 100%. Just the idea of having this podcast, something like this, something to do, it gives you, doesn't it? It just gives you that sense, because you actually got something to look forward to, or you got something to actually think, oh, I've got that coming up. I need to be ready for that.
Yeah.
So that's
if nothing else, something to think differently about.
Yeah.
Because like for work, apart from when you're a new starter, you get into the rhythm. You know what's coming. Even if you say my job changes differently every day, like I have a job where it's different every day, you know the rhythm of it. You're in the ebbs and flows of what's coming to you. So when you've got a different sporting event or a different media thing or whatever, it pushes you to think differently. And that's like, or even just reading. That's why reading is so interesting, because it's like you're getting you're hearing these perspectives that you're not hearing on your day to day, and that can just give you a sense of purpose of like, yeah, okay, maybe I am doing the right thing here, or maybe I am putting myself forward. But again, on the progress thing, you were thinking that it doesn't have to happen right now. I think that's something I've learned this lockdown, in that I think this is from university, you finish university, you go out and you're like, okay, time to make it happen. Time to go into work, time to make some cash, time to enjoy my life. Yeah. But then you got to understand, you have all these goals, you set all these goals for you, and they're not going to happen immediately. And especially where we're surrounded by social media, so we're going to see success, and sometimes it can get into your head and you're like, man, people seem to be moving on, but I'm not. And I'm realizing this year that progress happens, and it happens a lot. It can happen a lot slower than you think, but just because it's not happening now, you are doing things to get there, and just thinking about it sometimes is enough to keep it alive. So like this podcast, for example, I've been thinking about this podcast for over a year. Wrote it down at the start of the year as one of my goals, and I was like getting down at myself. I was like, look at this list. I've not done half of this, yet here we are now doing it, and we'll probably end up having these conversations now continuously. And it's here, and it's like, oh, all that thinking of it, I finally got me there. Probably there was something that pushed me over the edge, was our conversation and us just talking and like, okay, let's go. But it doesn't have to happen right now, as long as you're still living and breathing those ideas.
Yeah. 100% agree. I feel like just the idea of having a conversation about it, it's refreshing in memory. Oh, okay, yeah. It's not allowing you to forget, sort of thing. Remember, we had a conversation, I think it was last summer, and I remember I was stressed out. I was mid-exams, had a grizzly beard, no trim for a month. It wasn't a good look. I wasn't in a good place.
I remember. I think I felt. Do you know what? I put an Instagram post up, and after that, I was thinking, do you know what? Suneet might not be. He might not be feeling this post here because of.
Oh no, I wasn't.
The state he's in. He's usually giving me all this love on these Instagram posts, and all of a sudden, he's gone quiet here. Is this because I've exposed his lockdown look?
Well, that was one of the most offensive pictures I think you've ever posted in your life. There was no communication. There was no. I'm going to post this. What do you think? There was none of that. It was a post. It was there for the world to see, and oh my god, that was a horrible look. And I just don't ever want to go back to that place. But yeah, that was an awful picture, and I don't think I've actually still forgiven you for that.
I'm sorry. Do you know what? And the worst thing is, I know. Like a week later, I was like, "Damn."
I knew you knew. I knew you knew.
I
still didn't care.
I've seen what's happened here, but I'm like, it's out in the world now. Who am I to track back? I'm just sharing a moment. Can I share a moment?
The caption was so beautifully written as well. It was like I couldn't be mad at you. I couldn't be mad at you because it was a nice, wholesome caption. And then I just saw my face and I thought, he has taken this photo and he has not looked at the two people behind him. He's seen himself. He's thought, yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Catch up picture, post it. He's not even took time to look. But anyway, going back to that point, yeah, I was stressed. I was in a bad situation. I was deep in exams. And I remember saying to you, we're having this conversation, all right, what are we doing differently? What's going on? Where's your mindset? And I was telling you guys, I was like, yeah, my mindset's still here. I still got these goals that I want to achieve. But I hit you with a big but. I said, but right now, I've got exams. Mm-hmm. I said, I've got exams. I've got them again a couple months later, so I've got to be focused. I can't really be thinking about this too much. I've got other things to worry about. And do you remember what you said to me?
Tell me.
You said, okay, you said, you let me rant. You let me go on for about 20, 30 minutes. And then you said, I've just got one thing to comment on what you just said. You said, I've got one thing to comment. You mentioned that you have exams and that you can't be thinking about these other things. Why? Just said, why? Why can't you do both? Why are you, if you're so deep in it, I'm stressed so much about these exams that you can't even think. Spend a few minutes, hours, whatever a day just thinking about these other things that we're talking about now. Then you've got your timings wrong, or you're overplaying it, because there's no way that you can allow one thing in your life to take over so much to the point where everything else is shut out. And obviously, these exams are incredibly important. They should definitely be the focal point and the priority, but that doesn't mean everything else gets shut out. And that I opened my eyes. I was like, you're right. I'm doing this wrong. When it gets to exam season, it's world out. It's nothing. I don't allow anything. I'm just I'm tunnel vision. I'm focused. Mm-hmm. And whilst it's important to obviously have those as the priority of your life, I still shouldn't have the attitude of that's it. That's it. Focus on one thing. I feel like we said, even just having the conversations, just having the thought process, reading a book here or there, thinking about it is enough.
Some other kind of relief in which you're making the space for it. But it's interesting you say that, and it's funny to think back about anyway. But for different people, and I'm just thinking about me in that situation and like how I manage my time, and I'm not the biggest school person, so the way you have to study and you have to go through things, it is intensive. And I'm thinking about Elena, my fiance, for people who don't know. She has known from the day she was born, I'm going to be a vet. That's her purpose, and it's like, it's weird. It's weird for someone who doesn't to be around someone who's like that sometimes, because you're like, they just know their track and they are just on it. They are, machining through this track. But even while they're so focused on that, me and Elaine talk about sometimes you need to have your time to do something else for playing football, or it's nice when you're with someone else or you're in a relationship, because then that can be your distraction, or you can give you other reasons to think about things. But it is why not? Why can't you think about this? Why does it have to be all consuming?
Yeah, but no, that's a good point. What you said about Lena, the fact is some people will. This is just our opinions on this. This is just how our mindsets are. People who will be like, no, you lot are talking rubbish. Like, I'm happy with my job. I don't need to be doing other things. I don't need to be thinking about that. That's stupid. Like, it's not for me.
Mm.
I'm happy progressing in this particular job. I'm making a lot of money from it, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. If that's what you believe your purpose to be, if that's where your mindset is, then that's where your mindset is. It's just that me knowing you and us being very similar, our mindsets have changed as we've gotten older into this idea of, okay, one thing is just not enough for us.
So how do you think you're coming up now to like another milestone for you? What is it, next May you finish?
Yes, next, hopefully, touch wood.
Touch wood. You've got it.
Next May, I'll hopefully.
Next May, you've what, certified?
Oh, actually, hang on a minute. I might have got that wrong. I think it's July. It's not May.
Next summer. It's all the same.
Next summer, yeah.
So next summer you become like a certified accountant or something of that sort.
Qualified accountant, yeah, chartered accountant.
So that's like a whole another step, and you'll probably either be propelled into a new job or a different job or whatever.
Yeah, opportunity.
Is that playing on your mind of like, okay, this new area, how am I going to use that once I get there? Or is it like, let me get there first?
It depends when you ask me. And the reason why I say that is because right now it's on my mind because I'm in a much more calmer schedule. I've not got exams at the moment, and I'm just working. So right now, yeah, it's on my mind thinking, okay, this is it, because it's all happened so fast. Like it's been a 3-year long process, so it feels like it should be long, but it's happened so quickly. And when I first started, I was just thinking, okay, I just need to try and pass these exams because they're hard. And it's
Sorry, the mic is going weird.
Oh, can you hear
me? Yeah. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear that. Am I right?
Sorry, folks. I think that's better.
Some technical difficulties.
It was, yeah, the mic was tapping, but carry on.
Yeah, no worries. So when I first started, I was very much like, okay, I just need to pass these exams. It was very intense and they were difficult, and it was a whole new ball game for me. So yeah, it was very much okay. I'm not thinking about the future, but it's just all of a sudden crept on me so quick, and I've just been going through these exams just like second nature, just racking through them and now I'm here where it's hopefully I've only got one left in the summer, and it's like, oh, now I've actually got time to think about that and what I'm doing and where that's going to take me and what's the next steps, what I really want to be doing. And I haven't really actually had that. It's weird, it's strange. It's actually this period now is the first time really that I've actually I'm having an opportunity to think, okay, now I can think about it. Before, I've not had an opportunity to think about it. There's been so many exams, it's happened so quickly that I've just been about, okay, let me get through these exams. However, I'm coming into a period now which, like you said, yeah, I'm thinking, okay, now I can actually explore what my options are and what's going to happen.
It's exciting.
It's exciting times.
New beginnings, as they say. Well, I feel like, we're here, we're talking, we're in our armchairs, giving our theories and our opinions. So I just want to, we're coming to the end. So what's your advice? The son advice of the postgraduate student coming into the world, time to, starting to get a bit of cash in the pocket for the first time, starting to try and enjoy life a bit more, how are you balancing that? How are you thinking that? And what would you say to someone? I'm just interested.
My greatest advice is patience. I feel like you come out of uni and you're so you feel like time's on your case. You feel like you've got to be doing stuff. You've got to hurry up and get stuff done now. I think the biggest advice would be just have a bit of patience. Like there's still a lot of time to work with. Even now, it's I don't know how long, 4 years since I graduated, and I still feel like I've got a lot of time on my hands. I've still got I haven't technically my graduation is going to come when I become an accountant. That's my actual graduation.
Yeah.
As much as I love uni and I love getting that degree, this is now my career that I've got. So this is my actual graduation. It hasn't even happened yet. And I'm fine with it. I'm okay at 26 to say that. Because I feel like I've still got a lot more time.
Do you know what?
What?
I realised because I've done it. I've been doing it too. One, I'm going to bring up 2 points here. One is a question, and then one is, do you ever feel the pressure of time? Like saying, okay, I'm 25 now and getting through it. The second thing is, you said you're 26 then. I did that last week, I realised, on the podcast. And I'm like, why do I keep saying this? Why do I keep saying I'm 26? I'm 25. Yeah, listen, everybody. I hit the quarter century. There's no 26.
Not even close to 26 yet. That's the funny thing. The only reason why I've said it is because I remember you said it in the last one, and in my head I was going to correct you, and I've forgotten. But instead of correcting you, I've just carried on with the 26.
But you know what? Why I think I said that is because you said we met when we were 16 and we've known each other 10 years. So for some reason, my brain just splurted out 26. Yeah. And I was sitting there late in the day. I was like, are you okay? Yeah. What we talk about? But anyway, I was saying.
In life, man, we're 25 years of age. It's a great age.
I'm enjoying it. But yeah, do you ever feel the pressure like, shit, I'm getting older? You're like, no, I'm only 4 years out of uni. It's not that deep.
I really don't. I really never think I'm getting old.
No.
Ever. Not yet. I feel like a lot of people do our age, 100%. A lot of people do our age, but I feel like 25 is plenty of time to play with. Plenty of time.
Yeah. Seeing as you gave one word for your answer, I think it made me think. I was like, okay, if I'm going in that direction, I'd say awareness. And let me tell you why. I think by being firstly aware of your situation, everyone's situation is different, isn't it? Even like for us, or when you come out of university, depending where you live in the world, or what opportunities, what your family situation is, it's going to be different. So whatever you're reading or hearing somewhere else can only be applied in a way that's unique to you. So I have to remind myself, okay, what's my situation? Like, where am I? Let me just do a quick evaluation of each part of my life, and where can I then put this together in order to get what I want to. And so if you're coming out of university, you're like, well, I want to do it all. Like, you're coming from such a different stage in which, like, university was about fun. My brain was awareness. It was fun. Came out, I was like, okay, I want to make money now. I just want to feel some cash in my pocket for the first time. I'm aware of that. And now, like, I've got to be, my awareness level is shifting to, like, okay, there's something there. Can I use that? Where can I take that now? It is my bills, is my etc. allowing me space to do that. And then you think on top of that. That's where I'm kind of trying to figure out. So if anyone's got better tips, better advice for me, how to navigate this situation of life and this purpose, come tell me, because
come chat to us.
I lose sleep sometimes. I do. Sometimes I sit up at night. I think I'm knackered. I'm like, yo, I'm so tired. Hit the pillow. Suddenly my brain's like a damn cinema. It starts rolling. I'm like, Jesus.
What's going on? First of all, that was a much better answer than mine. Can I go back? Can I change mine?
Take two.
Just cut that one. No, that's a good answer. That is true. That is true. I feel like it's interesting though, because you can ask this question, or you can phrase this sort of podcast to anyone, and I feel like you get so many answers for this. I don't think no one really knows the answer, do they? It's just about trying to figure it out for yourself, trying to figure out life. I feel like we're all you work out what works for you. You work out what works for you.
Exactly. You just have to keep talking life. And on that note, as we both raise our hands in the air,
It's wonderful,
and kind of come to an end of this podcast, just want to say a note. Thank you for listening. To everybody who listened to the first one, appreciate it. Appreciate you reaching out if you did. It's fun to do this first podcast. Well, this second one where we actually got into a bit of stuff. Got a bit deep, got a bit more personal, didn't it? But I think there's a lot of interest in those conversations for us because we don't have those conversations every day. So I hope you enjoyed it. Any words from you, Suneet, as we finish this?
Yeah, just repeat what you said already. Thanks everyone for listening. We got some good feedback on the first one. I think people appreciated the introduction and they seemed excited to hear what we had to say, which is good. So
and please feedback on Suneet's mic. I want to know what the people are saying.
Let me know. I'm saying, listen, I can envisioned in certain quarters and quadrants. The Indian Joe Rogues. Joe Rogie bin.
That's it. That's it. First brown boy to get it popping on the podcast. That's what I'm talking about.
Sneak catch experience. What are you telling me?
And also, if you're watching on YouTube, please can somebody make a comment on Suneet's room. Now, I feel like we're talking about lighting earlier. You need the lighting behind the screen, right? This guy's. I like the bed sheets there. I like the pillow. I don't know if you've got the memory foam. I'm lacking at home.
This is what we're doing right at the end of the podcast.
No, we're ending. We're ending. I'm just saying, people, go and enjoy it. I appreciate you all listening. It's all love.
It's a pleasure.
See
Obviously,
you.
this one, we did go a bit into more of a serious, deep conversation, which we want to do on this podcast. But there will be some more light-hearted debates. So don't worry if that's what people are interested in as well. We will get to those.
We'll be talking life. We'll be going all over the place.
Yeah.
So, thank you and peace out.
Cheers, guys.